Okay, the circular cue brought to you by Team Diamond. So good job, Diamond, and your team. Not perfect, but pretty close to perfect. So you've got your node being set up here. We've got our queue being initialized here in terms of the constructor. We are building this queue based on nodes, based on a length which is passed in to the constructor from the main code. So if we say we want it 8, maximum length, it'll pass it into here. We're then setting the last element in the queue to be -1, the pointer. So this will wrap around. So if I did 0, that will set 0 is pointed to be -1. If I did 5, the same. If I did 8, the same. That will do the 8th pointer, which is also the last one, but I could also do it this way, which is saying put the last pointer to be -1. Head pointer is -1, 3 list pointer is 0, tail is -1, length is stored from here into an attribute called length. Nice and simple so far. There's also a display pointer, sorry, a display method. Again, nice and simple. Okay, so this is on queue. I'm going to break this down each bit. So this bit is checking to see if the 3 pointer is bigger than or equal to the length of, then it's going to say full. That makes sense. If we've got our queue and our 3 pointer is now pointing to here, it's full. However, what I would have liked to see is the 3 pointer to be then set to -1, because it should be really checking if 3 pointer is -1. So you can change the code slightly so that when the 3 pointer, so let's imagine this is 0, 1, 2, 3. When the 3 pointer is currently at 3 and it goes up again by 1 to 4, it'll then set it to be -1. So we should be checking if self.3 equals -1. Otherwise, if self.q, self.3, so its name is empty, and self.3 is 0. So if it's 0, 0, and it's empty, we're going to put the head, which is, remember, -1, head is -1, because we've got nothing in it, and the tail is -1. We're going to increment the head so that it becomes 0. Only if self.3 is 0 when we're on queue. So on queue, the only time we actually change head is if it is -1 to begin with. So what we could have done for this is also do if head is self.head is -1, make head go up by 1. So there's 2 ways of doing that. This is a longer way. I would have done self.q. So I wouldn't have done self.q. I would have done self.head equals -1. Either way, we're basically saying if the list is empty, we're just about to add some data to it, and the head is -1, point it to here. We're then going to put our name in here, like Geo, and we're going to set the next pointer to be -1. So we should have pointing to 2, pointing to 3, pointing to -1. Worry about this bit yet. We're then going to increment self.3, so self.3 pointer becomes this. Tail pointer becomes also 0, and then Diamond is displaying or running his display method after he's added it. So that's fine. So let's go around again. Let's add. So head is 0, tail is 0, 3 pointer is pointing to 1 now. We then add something else. Luke. We then do Sam. 3-pointer will now be pointing to 3. Okay, so we're then going to add, let's do Roger. Now let's focus on this bit. If self.q, self.free minus 1, its name doesn't equal empty. So let's just build this again. So we're putting our next name in. So free pointer is pointing to 1. Roger. It will look at the name before it. Does it not equal empty? It doesn't equal empty because Joe's in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this pointer to point to 1. And then we're going to put Roger in here. The next time we add something, so we're going to add Luke. Sorry, Roger should be then set to -1. Because that's what happens here. We then add Luke. It'll then do this. It'll check the node before it. It's got Roger in it. So therefore, we're going to change this not to -1, but to the current 3-pointer, which is Luke. And then we increment the 3-pointer. Then let's do rabbit. So now this is pointing, so that should be -1, but now it's going to be pointing back to 3 again. Okay. Very nice. Okay. So for DQ, if in the previous code, Diamond and his team were to set 3-pointer to become -1 when full, this bit isn't needed like this. So what he's done is he said empty equals true. He then loops through the whole queue. If there is at least one name inside the queue that make empty false, not needed, because we can be basically saying, if you look at the if statement, if 3-pointer doesn't equal -1, so it's not empty, let's run this code. And what is going on here? Let's have a look. So we've got our queue. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we've got Boris, Sally, Roger, and then let's do 3-pointer pointing to 3, and let's have this, sorry, this pointing to -1, and obviously this would be pointing to -1. Okay, so let's do DQ. We're running DQ. Head is pointing to here. Tail is pointing to here. What we're going to do is we're going to make self.free become, so self.head, the value, and put it into self.free. So this won't work. So I'm actually going to move away from this example. But the reason why this won't work is this is saying that self.head will become will be pointing to self.free, but that's not true because the 3-pointer is still here. Remember, it's a circular queue. So if we were to get rid of Boris, which is what he's done here, this is good. So this line of code is good. I'm going to do a tick. If we were then to, it says self.head equals self.q, self.head pointer, so yep, that's fine. So we're taking this and we're basically saying that value is now going to be the head pointer, because it's pointing to Sally, and Sally's now the top, so it's now moving down to here, basically, position 1. But he's also saying that the 3 pointer is 0, but it's not. And then self.q, self.3, pointer is -1. No. Well, yeah, actually, that would be the case for this. That would be -1. Because in the circular queue, this is the front of our free list here. It'll then put something in here, it'll then put something in here, and it will wrap around and put something in here. So this would be the end. But this also needs to be updated. This needs to be pointing to 0 now. So it's wrapping around. So this is still slightly incorrect. He's changed the head pointer. Tail pointer is fine. The 3 pointer should be pointing to 3, but it should be pointing to 4, and then it should realize if there's space in 0, it should then loop around to put it here. So I'm going to set you a challenge. This is a good bit of code to start with, or to start from. See if you can actually get this working yourself. So pause the video, see if you can fix it. Okay, so this is Michael's teams, where they've done a DQ. Now, their unq is slightly wrong because 3 pointer is not pointing to -1 either. So they're both doing this random thing here. It just needs to be if self.3 equals -1. Circular queue is oh, he's done it, sorry, my fault. He's done it the other way around, so that's fine. So he's doing if self.3 equals, well, if you want to see if the circular queue is empty, you can just simply say if the tail equals the head. So if the tail equals self.head and, well, actually you can do self.3 as well, fine, I'll give you that. Okay, so we've got self.3 equals self.head, fine, and the data is empty. Yep, circular queue is empty, return, not a problem. So we're checking to see if it's empty, if there's nothing in it, not a problem. Otherwise, what he's done, which is nice, he's actually shown which number has been removed. So he's printing out the following number has been dequeued, and it is self.list, which is the name of this list, self.head, and the data. So if we were to do this, and we would have 1, 2, 3, -1, and we would have A, B, C, D, and we would have HP, TP, and 3 pointer equals -1. What we're going to do is we're going to do self.list, self.head, and we're going to make it empty. So same as diamond, we make this empty. We then set the next pointer to be -1. Great, there we go. We then do the self.list, self.head, -1. So we go and wrap to here, so we're now here, and we set that to be self.head. So this is now going to point to 0. We then increment the head by 1, so now the head is going to be here. So that is what this bit's done. So this wraps it round, so it says, or you, point to -1. So now we've got 3 pointer. Has a 3 pointer been updated in this? Does it need to be updated? Do we have a free space? We do have a free space now. This is going to be our free space, but I don't see anything about 3 pointer now being set to what was the self.head. So I want you to see if you can actually now set the 3-pointer so it goes in the correct position. That is what we're missing. So it should be 3-pointer is starting on 0. So that is missing from the code. So pause the video and see if you can do that yourself. Okay.